Hello everyone, today is the 3-year anniversary of my hardcore world. Except, that's a lie. I was planning to do a world tour on my 3-year anniversary and I thought it was about a week before I uploaded my first video. Turns out it took me 3 months to make that video, so I actually created this world on August 18th, 2022. So it's been 3 years old for a little while, but we're still gonna do the world tour. Now let's go back to where it all began. 3 years ago, I spawned somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly. But in the first video, I made this starter house. I think that the videos have gotten progressively bigger and bigger. That was episode 3 and some of the projects I'm doing now is just massive. But we started out very small. You can see some of it over there. We started out very small. This was my starter house. Just a bit of a ruin these days. There's not much to see, but it's always nice to remember your beginnings. In the second episode I killed the Ender Dragon. Not really that much to show from that. Except of course, well, that. But now we move on to the big projects. That was episode 3. The first 2 episodes were really just getting the basics. And now I was ready to start doing mega builds, doing what I really wanted to do with this world, making the videos that I want to make. Let's have a look inside. This is my current base. The point of the video was to just create a villager trading hall, but it turned out to be my complete base, which I do need to upgrade very soon. So here I've got all my essential villagers. These have been here for a very long time. Mending, Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch. All the ones that you need often. I've got some masons here for bricks and quartz and... what are they called? Help me. Farmers. So this is basically my base of operations. This is where I've got all my precious items. And where... yeah, most of the things I do in my videos takes place. This has also turned into quite a hub for a few farms. This is probably most of the things I'm going to show you today in this world is farms, because I haven't actually done that much building, which is something I'd like to change in the future. This is not only a world tour, but also just explaining my thoughts behind the world. Anyway, here we've got a melon farm and a pumpkin farm. They are not very fast, but since I've been here a long time, I have 17.5 days of playtime in this world, and probably a good bit of it is around here. You can see that. Well, they've produced quite a lot of melons and pumpkins. This is my bulk storage from big projects. I've got a lot of deep slate. Hopefully I'll never run out of that. I've got, just a lot of big storage for all kinds of things. Down here, we've got a cobblestone farm. Don't really use that much. I've got enough cobblestone for days. I've also got my sugarcane farm, though I have upgraded that since. And up here, we've got just a little super smelter. This is like all the practical farms that I really need. I've got one of the essentials, a dispenser autocrafter, because who wants to craft dispensers? I've got an allay farm, or silverfish XP farm it is, and some nether wart. Then back here, I've got, this was supposed to be on my map room, but it's a bit of a mess now. This was how the map looked when it started, so no builds here, no builds anywhere. I've got a little aquarium of a lot of colorful fish. These are the 30 most beautiful fish out of 3,000 fish that I caught when I did my blue axolotl project. So this is a very colorful aquarium. Tiny little cactus farm again with this one. It's so slow, but since I'm just around here so much, it produces a lot. Sheep farm, flower farm, chicken farm. All of these small farms are basically just, I never used them, but to tick off on this project. This was episode 4. I haven't got the episodes besides me, so I might get it wrong, but this was an episode I did a while ago that's still not completed. A very long ongoing project of completing every farm in Minecraft. As you can see, I've got quite a lot, but still quite a few to go. And we're going to visit quite a few of these throughout this video today. Now let's just have a look at this from the outside. If I didn't say already, this is a transformed jungle temple. Still a bit of a mess. There's a beacon there, and I do believe I haven't finished the back. It's a curse of all Minecraft YouTubers. There's no moss on the back, though it still looks alright. I'm quite happy with this build, especially considering I made it on only episode 4. Now, to keep in tune with the farms, let's go to my industrial district. I've got a nether portal hidden right behind here. And now you'll see the very bare bones nether hub I have. There isn't much to see. A little bee farm, a froglight farm, and just ice tunnels to, wherever I need to go. It's quite a bit away, this industrial district. About 700 blocks in the nether. Throughout the years, many people have watched videos from this world, but unless you watch my live streams, you probably don't know where anything is, and that's the reason I'm doing this world tour today. As you can see, we are now here, about 700 blocks away. As you can see, that's a little teaser for later, my giant creeper farm. But now let's go out to the industrial district. Basically, the point of my industrial district is a place where I can just destroy blocks and build farms that are ugly without having to think about destroying the world. So as you can see, we've got a little wood farm, normal wood farm by ENX04, brilliant wood farm. And over here we've got a mangrove wood farm. This is a pickle farm. I've got basically all kinds of stupid farms that you can think of in this world because of the old project. That over there is a music disc farm. Those are just some stupid farms that I never really use anymore, but I have to tick them off if I want to make every farm. This though is one of my very essential farms. Iron farm, 9,000 iron an hour. Again, produces me too much iron. I actually need to empty the storage. It's nearly filled. Took a while to make. I believe there's 3 villagers in each pot. 12 villagers in each area, 5 areas, that's 60 villagers. So yeah, it's a big farm. Over here is my old mob farm. Don't really use that anymore. I've got a better gunpowder farm and I've got a better bone farm. So it's not often I go here. Now, something you might have noticed is that there is no sand anywhere around here. And there's a reason for that. Because the current project I'm doing is mining 1 million sand, and you might ask, why the hell am I doing that? I don't know. I'm just doing it. Don't ask questions. But yeah, as you can see, we've mined 180,000 sand so far. And it's quite a big area that's just without sand now. But as I teased before, let's fly this way to my creeper farm. This was probably the biggest project I've done to date, because I had to dig the perimeter. It's just loading in over here. It always looks so weird coming around here. Let's turn the render distance up so you can actually see what's going on. As you can see, it's got smooth edges, which meant I dug them by hand. I dug all the edges by hand, poured water, and then TNT duped so it wouldn't destroy the edges. Which meant that I mined 100,000 deep slate and 200,000 stone. I don't know if it was worth it, but it looks pretty cool. And down there is an insane 150,000 gunpowder per hour creeper farm. This thing is crazy. It works by having creepers spawn here. We might be able to catch some if we're lucky. Yeah, they're spawning all around. You can see how fast they spawn. Then they get teleported into the boats. And because the boats are basically, they're drowned in the water, they get ejected right away and go into the nether. And that looks insane inside the nether. So yeah, this was a project I think took 500 Minecraft days. It was a very, very big project. And I almost burned out on the series while doing it. Let's have a look at the storage system in the Nether. Here we are. This is such a big storage system, and it makes sense because it's for such a big farm. I've never really AFK'd here, probably only like just to show the farm, but you can still see we've got like enough gunpowder that I could ever use in this world. So safe to say that's not gonna be a problem. Now for this farm, because I was building it so low down at spawn, or slime chunks I mean, I made a mob switch, which is right over here. Very simple, now it's loaded. I'm actually gonna turn it off because I don't really like playing with the mob switch. I think it ruins the point of hardcore a bit, but you can see there's 70 villagers. It was a fun project to build though. There's 70 zombie villagers here, which when loaded takes up the whole mob cap, which means that no other monsters can spawn. This was also, it took a while to get 70 villagers from this monstrosity of a villager breeder. But it was a fun project. I don't think I've used it since then, to be honest, but we have it if I ever need it. You know you've got an old world when you randomly just find a shulker box of blue eyes lying around. This is genuinely quite valuable. I'm gonna bring this with me. Back at the industrial district, I just want to show you something. I think I have a bit of an addiction with mining sand because I'm actually destroying every bit of sand in a mesa currently. That's a project I'm doing. As you can see, usually there's red sand here, and that looks like a face. I've never noticed it. Now it's a face. Great. As you can see, there's basically half of this sand in this desert is just gone. And again, why am I doing it? I don't know. It's just fun. But now let's head back to spawn again. One thing that you can really see is a theme with this world are those mega projects. And that's honestly one of the things I don't really like about it, is that it doesn't really feel like my world. I don't really have my flair to it. It's just a bunch of giant farms that anyone could build. And that's one of the things I really want to change in the future. To make it more my world, I want a lot of my builds and just, yeah, have my touch on it. That being said, I'm gonna show you some more farms. Before, I will show you the builds at the end. This over here is kind of both, to be honest. This is a massive build, but also a crazy farm. Right here we have I think it's about 120,000 an hour warp stem farm. So if I ever need to make like a bunch of chests, basically just, I don't really use it for building, but things that you can craft with wood, I come over here. It's a insane farm, and here is the farm for the mushrooms that you need to plant it. Because you also need to farm those. I really like the look of these farms. They look like quite industrial, quite redstoney, which I've always just liked the look of that. I never try to hide the redstone because, yeah, I think it looks good. This is hidden though between all of this warped stuff. But as I said earlier, this is also a build. If we just fly over here, and there's also some builds you can see. This is a massive tree stump. Quite happy with that build. Now, as you just saw on the horizon, this is my next build. This is my latest video as of this recording. I got a blue axolotl, and of course I had to spoil it. It took me about 2,000 attempts, 10 hours of breeding axolotls. It needed something great. Something... Whoopsie. So over here are my blue axolotls. And this is what I said about wanting to build more. I'm really happy with this build. All of those little cute ones. Let's just zoom out here. Again, with this shulker box lying around. Just a bunch of glass. Let's turn on shaders for this one, shall we? Isn't that gorgeous? I think I'm going to keep shaders on for the rest of these builds. Yeah, this build took a long time, but I'm also really happy with it. Those shadows down there, I wonder, are those yep, they are shulker boxes. And with a lot of materials as well. I'm quite terrible at just leaving materials around. I can see why I don't play with the shaders often. It lags a bit. But I think it's worth it. Wouldn't you agree? Because the next build over here, and more shulker boxes of course. This is one of my earlier episodes. I'm not really doing this in chronological order. Because this was actually, I think this was my first ever building video. I did a video asking ChatGPT to give me an idea for a mega build. And it told me to build a giant tree base. And honestly, this is one of my favorite builds of all time. Along with that one, to be honest. This took me about 2 weeks to design. Not even to build, just to design. I am really bad at making organic stuff, so this was really a challenge for me. But I am so incredibly happy with how this turned out. I've never really done much with it. There are some little huts up here, as you can see. And you can go through the middle here. There's like a greenhouse up here. It's quite cute and cozy. But just the build, to have this in the horizon, is one of my favorite things. Speaking of the horizon, we've got another farm build over there. You might be able to guess which farm this is. It is, of course, my bee farm. And I'm a little bit scared to go over here, to be honest. I think I'm going to turn shaders off. Because this farm has 1200 bees and it lags my game every time I come around here. Let's just stand over here. You might notice that the sound just turned off. There was no sound from the firework rocket. And that's actually because there's so many entities here that the game just glitches. It doesn't work. I think I also need to restock this actually. I see that all of those are filled. Yeah, not something I'm going to do now, but just a note for later that maybe I need to refill this farm. It is quite cool though. I've got a little honey slide over here with all the items coming down. There might not be that many now that the farm isn't refilled with shears and buckets, or shears and bottles I mean. But I think I've got all the honey I could ever need. Yeah, no honey coming down, because all of these are just, filled. So this is, again, a pretty insane project. Yeah, look, all of these are empty, completely empty with shears or bottles. I'm gonna have to fix that. Now let's turn shaders back on, because we're going over here to one of my favorite builds of all time. It might not look like much from the outside, and I'm a bit ashamed to admit this, but it actually isn't finished. This is my update museum. I just need to finish the roof, but this is one of my favorite builds of all time. I love this floor, I love the design, I love the idea. Right here you can see every update in the game so far. Way back to pre-classic when we just had 5 blocks, then classic. And just, I encourage you to watch the video, and if you want to see like all of the updates, I'm just going to have a little walkthrough here. You can see back when Nether got up added. I believe this was 1.0, the Ender Dragon. Jungle update. A huge one for me, the Redstone update. Here the update started getting names. The update that changed the world. A lot of blocks. Horse update. Bountiful update. Again, the updates are getting so much bigger here, except for that one. Frostburn update. Shulker boxes. The aquatic update, what an update that was. And color update. 1.14. And bees. And just 2 crazy updates. With the caves and cliffs. And the best update of all, the mountains. But not really much items from that one. So yeah, I still need to finish the ceiling, but this is just such a crazy project, and one that's gonna keep going in the future because, well, Minecraft is still getting updates. So I just love this hole. It's so pretty. Now, right next to it, we actually got another farm. This here is my ultimate crop farm with, yeah, all the crop farms in one. I think it'll probably be easiest to show you this in free cam. We've got the cactus farm. We got the crazy bone, what's it called? Cocoa bean farm. 140,000 an hour. Way more than I ever need. I don't think I've ever used more than a stack of cocoa bean in this world. We've got a stupid bamboo farm, kelp farm, all the crop farms, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, an upgraded sugarcane farm. And in here, actually that's not the right way. In here is our storage system. We've got the feed for junk apparently, for cactus, for kelp, for crops, sugarcane, bamboo. You might notice that there aren't actually very much stuff in it, and that's because I've never AFK'd here. I don't need to, I don't need those items. That's the thing currently. I'm building all these farms, but I don't need them anymore. It's just for like having a good video. And that's why I really want to expand my world more into building, because it just gives more character to the world instead of having farms that I don't need. This is the map of the world. I'm going to show you the last few things on just the map here because they're quite a bit away. And honestly not that exciting. Over here I've got a slime farm. And up here, at a tiny little swamp, I've got my witch farm. Pretty standard farms again. Farms aren't really that exciting, are they? They're the same in every world. But this world, 3 years old, hopefully many more to come, many more builds to come, and a lot more exciting stuff that I have got planned. I'd just like to thank you all for this 3-year journey, and I hope you keep watching. Thank you. Bye bye.